The Bell B30E is a smaller sized articulated dump truck, and empty it weighs about 19 tonnes. This model of it is by a fairly new model maker called USK Scale Models. It comes in a Bell branded box, but there's no information about the real machine. The box is factory sealed, so we'll cut the tape and pull out the insides. And it looks like some things just don't go out of fashion because we've got a twist tie securing the model. At least it's a soft and easy one to undo. There's a piece of tape securing the dump bed, so we can cut that off and then the model's out of the box. Unfortunately, there was an issue of poor assembly on the review model, so a little bit of surgery was required to trim off some plastic so that parts could fit together properly. Although it's an easy enough fix, hopefully this problem is limited only to the review model. The chassis is a mixture of metal and plastic parts, and the rear transmission and suspension is modelled well. The tyres are interesting because they've got Michelin moulded into the sidewall, and the wheels are detailed on both the inside and outside faces. At the front, the grille is realistic and it has a tiny Bell logo. The cab detailing is quite reasonable, and there's also a Bell logo on the seat back. There is a fair amount of plastic on the model, and that includes the mirrors and the handrails. And in fact the cab seems to be an entirely plastic part also. At the back there's a springy hinged window, and the lower grab rails are plastic too. The top of the chassis is fairly simply modelled with the big screw heads standing out. The metal body is a decent casting with sharp graphics, but the silver rivet heads certainly stand out. Interestingly, the inside of the body is painted a different colour. So it's out onto the test track with the Bell, and it rolls easily in a straight line. But let's grab a handful and take a look underneath. Each of the rear wheels spins independently, which is nice, although the front ones are joined onto a common axle. There's also good functionality on the rear axles because they are independently sprung. And it's good to know that the muck inside the dump body will have a nice smooth ride to the tip. Let's now check the steering angle across the pivot point. And it's certainly a little bit shallow compared to the real machine. One other thing you can do is a bit of showboating, or perhaps this is a new Cranes Etc. method for side discharge. There is some additional functionality at the front with the hood opening up, and it stays posed and lets you see the Mercedes engine underneath. There's also the additional feature of the tilting cab so that you can see the transmission. This is an interesting and unusual feature on an ADT model, but the amount of tilt of the cab is restricted because it clashes with the handrail outside. Now we move on to the tipping function and see what kind of angle can be achieved. It is fairly stiff, and as you can see there's a linked tailgate. But at least the good thing is that a realistic tipping angle is achieved. You do have to be careful though not to pull too far because you can pop the cylinders. It's time for the genuine imitation real life test. And here we see the B30E reversing up, ready to tip its load. And as you can see, the tailgate opens and the load tips out. And the result of all that is there's another mess to clear up in the Cranes Etc. studio. This is a good first construction model from USK with some nice details and features. It's also priced competitively. It's a pity there was a manufacturing problem on the review model, but apart from that it's got enough going for it to be highly recommended.